Maybe Coffee was right. Don't tell him.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Rise and Grind. This is Coffee Traveler, and I have 5 articles, and this is number 1. Let's get started. It's a nice day. We have been off the schedule, but maybe we're back on the schedule. I try to do Monday through Thursday on Twitch, and then they show up Tuesday through Friday on YouTube. We'll see. Now, first article, Airbnb silent killer, 19 carbon monoxide deaths in 10 years, but detectors still not required. Seems very low. I don't know the like per capita carbon monoxide deaths are supposed to happen or these other things, but like 19 in 10 years? I don't know. Anyways, in February 2014, Airbnb made the commitment the company would require hosts to confirm that carbon monoxide detectors were installed in every listing by the end of the year. Interesting. It's been 10 years. So if they did actually like promise that, they should be held accountable for that, sure. Months earlier, the short-term rental company faced one of its reported deaths involving carbon monoxide. A Canadian citizen stayed at an Airbnb in Taiwan. The company wanted to do more. Wait, what? Why are we talking about 10 years ago? Blah, 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 blah. Are all alleged to have, according to interviews... The company is currently facing 3 lawsuits. Well, good. If they face lawsuits and they have to have repercussions. But anyways, what I wanted to say, if you don't have a carbon monoxide, I grabbed this article. If you don't have a carbon monoxide detector in your house or at like the regular cadences around your house, go get one. You can't smell it. It will kill you. Go get one, or 2 or 3 or however many your house like requires. Go look that shit up. So that's why I grabbed this article. I don't know. And it's also something to look at if you stay in Airbnbs and they don't have carbon monoxide detectors or whatever, or just take one with you, right? Have it. It's dangerous. You only get one life, so protect it. It's precious. Anyways, let's see here. From Politico.com, Fifth Circuit rules Texas must remove river border buoys. I did not know there were buoys on the river border, like down the middle of the river. A federal appeals court on Friday ruled that Texas must remove a series of buoys in its river border with Mexico that has generated a wave of backlash from immigration advocates and lawmakers. I don't know why. Wouldn't environmental people have a problem with this? Doesn't this disrupt fish and other things and wildlife? Like on top of this, like what the fuck? In a 2-1 decision, a panel of Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals rejected Texas' request to overrule a federal district judge who ordered the state in September to remove the controversial barrier. Considered a threat to navigation and federal government operations on the Rio Grande, as well as potential threat to human life, the floating barrier created. Yeah, like you're basically putting trash in the middle of a river, being like, this is our half. We're building a wall down a river. Are you fucking serious? Crab Addict first deployed the barrier, a roughly 1,000-foot stretch of worn spherical buoys connected by heavy metal cables, complete with anti-dive net beneath it. It's got to be awful for wildlife. Holy shit. Yeah. It's also only 1,000 feet. Just walk like further upriver. Like, it doesn't say like we put it along the whole stretch of the thing and like, but also it's like an anti-dive net. That's got to be so bad for wildlife. Like, oh, and all the money spent on that could have been spent enriching people's lives. Or, it's so weird. I didn't even know this was happening. Like, why? All this money is spent on like, you know, hey, we're going to spend money to keep people out. You could just spend that money on good things happening in Mexico so people want to stay in Mexico. You could just spend that money in that way, and then you solve your immigration problem that the conservatives have made up, even though immigrants have the lowest amount of crime per capita, like on a macro level. Like first generation immigrants in this country are some of the most productive people. So like, no. Punching down, way more important. That's right, Jindred. Like, Let me punch down and spend my resources and energy and time and effort to punch down on people who don't have anything anyways. Fuck. Bimka, thanks for posting the recap in Discord. I see you. I'm so glad that the federal federal has come by and been like, Texas, you suck. You like have to take it. Anyways, what's the rest of this article? In September, a judge appointed by Ronald Reagan ruled that the buoys likely obstructed the flow of the Rio Grande in a way that required congressional authorization. This reasoning derives from an 1899 law called the Rivers and Harbors Appropriation Act, which requires federal approval for obstructions built in navigable waters. Wow. That's awesome. Abbott said the court's decision was completely wrong and that he and Texas, were seeking an immediate hearing in which granted would convene all Georgia. We'll go to SCOTUS if we need to. Jesus fucking Christ. To protect Texas from Biden's open borders. Jesus Christ. They took our jobs. They took the jobs that like nobody wanted. They tried to like get like white people or, you know, people to come and pick fruit or whatever, and all just like rotted on the trees because like nobody wants to go do the work. It's like, yeah. The buoys generated an uproar from the state's Democratic lawmakers and human rights advocates, which argue that it threatened the lives of migrants who were crossing the river to seek asylum. Texas state troopers found a dead body lodged in the buoys in August. Yeah, exactly. They violated international water rights. The barrier is part of Abbott's larger sweeping state-led program dubbed Operation Lone Star. His project has proceeded for more than 2 years, aims at to unleash state administrative power to curtail the flow of migrants into Texas in the face of what he and other Republicans argue is a failure of the Biden administration to secure the border. So here's the thing. If you spend all your money securing the border or doing other dumb shit like this, instead of let's make an economic boom, how do we make these people the most productive they can be? And Texas is a bastion of productivity and a bastion of like, we go, people like that are different than me, the other is bad, so therefore we're going to spend all of our resources cosplaying like we give a shit and make 1,000 yard. It's not even that far, it's like half a mile. I'll just walk around it. Like in the grand scope of like the Rio Grande's border, you put 1,000 yards. I don't understand. So like this is in my utopia, we just be nice to each other. Just be nice to each other. Everyone can be productive. There's plenty of stuff to do. Plenty of things to do. There's a little more to this article, but I think that's I'm good here. Like I do not like to platform Republican policies and other things. I just like to see that Biden has come in and said, or the federal United States government has come in and said, yo, stop that. Can you not? I need you to stop thrusting. Like, okay, like for serious. So, what's next? This one was interesting to me, and I didn't know things about it, and I probably should look up some more about it, but malicious bots make up nearly 3/4 of internet traffic. That's like an interesting statement. This is from techspot.com. Bad bots dominate internet traffic. Interesting. With the rise of like AI and other things, it's just so cheap. Like in the past, we have seen traffic be like very high on the internet in terms of like spam mails and other things. So it's interesting for me to like read more about this to understand. Yeah. So let's take a look. According to fraud control platform Arcosi Labs, a staggering 73% of internet traffic to web pages and apps measured between January and September in 2023 was related to bots performing malicious activities like SMS toll fraud, scraping, and card testing. Talk about a waste of resources. Yeah. The top 5 bad bot categories in the third quarter included account takeover, scraping, fake account creation, account management, and in-product abuse. Yeah. The categories were mostly unchanged from Q2, with one exception: in product abuse replaced card testing. Yeah. SMS toll fraud, quarters. Interesting. It's like so this is like what is the takeaway from this article? The takeaway is you need to have like a reasonable password, have dual factor authentication. If your card gets lost or stolen or these other things, go and take care of it and get it canceled. Get moving on with it, right? So that it cannot be used in a malicious way. This is like my takeaway from the article is that the internet is a dangerous place due to the low cost for bots to like do things because you can just set it up and it runs, right? So protect yourself out there. Don't get scammed, hopefully. And if you do get scammed, don't be afraid to cancel all your cards and these other things and change the route. Or, you know, if you're afraid of it, take a class on it, watch some like videos. Man, rough out there these days. Let's take a look at this one. From imperial.ac.uk. I do not know this source, but this article caught my eye because I'm dealing with family members who have this problem. So, large study of its kind shows leafy greens may decrease bowel cancer risk. Neat. This has always been thought to be the way, but I love to see that there's more articles. Increasing the amount of folate through our diet or taking supplements could help reduce cancer risk. These are the findings of new research co-led by people at the School of Public Health at Imperial College London. I don't know what the Imperial College London is, but we love studies around here. We love learning. We love the intake of these things. It suggests that increasing the take of folate, which can be found in leafy greens such as spinach, cabbage, broccoli, could help to reduce risks of colorectal cancer by up to 7%. That's quite a bit. Also, roasted broccoli is delicious. Just olive oil, salt, pepper into the oven, roast it up. Eat that stuff. So good. $4.50 for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes maybe, however much you like. In the largest study of its kind funded by World Cancer Research Fund and published in the American Journal of Nutrition. We're getting Brussels sprouts are better. That's true. Brussels sprouts also good. I'm a big fan of just roasting. If you don't like cooking or other things, roast your vegetables, chop them up, olive oil, salt, pepper, throw them in the oven on a baking sheet. I usually even just put aluminum foil down because I do not want to scrub the baking sheet and go from there. But roast. Oh man, roasted vegetables are the best. Do not put them in the microwave. Do not like steam them. Steamed vegetables are the fucking worst. I grew up with soft, gross steamed vegetables. Pan sear them and throw them in the oven. Delicious. So if you like need to get more greens in your life, this is kind of the way. Love broccoli though. Holy shit. Carrot, potato, parsnip. Yeah, exactly. Roast it, especially in the winter when it's cold as fuck. Like we know it's cold around here. We don't run the heat. Well, one of the ways to pseudo run the heat is that you just run it through the oven. So meal plan around this. You can meal prep as well too. You can do large quantities of things so you don't have to cook all that often. You just eat off the leftovers. Oh, it's great. Large study published, blah, blah, blah. In line with previous studies, they found that people consuming higher levels of dietary folate, the odds of developing cancer reduced by 7% for every 260 micrograms higher consumption of dietary folate, which corresponds to 65% of the daily recommended amount. Okay, so I'm sure this like drops off, but like getting leafy greens into your body is good for your body. Like getting good nutrition into your body is good for your body. Love it. Also, Gingered, I see you. Reducing risk. Bowel cancer is the fourth most common cancer, with nearly 45,000 people diagnosed with the disease every year and over 120 new cases each day. 1 in 18 women and 1 in 15 men are likely to receive bowel cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. That is incredibly high, and it's even higher for myself due to what happens in the family. Therefore, I like wanted to grab this article and take a look. So like understanding your dietary needs and other things and what can help your future in a macro way. Love that. The takeaway here is like eat foods that are good for you. Excuse me. We all know what's good for us. It can be hard day in and day out, but if you make one small change today and make one small change next month, make one small change next month, like we constantly make changes to make your life better, guess what? It's going to get better. If you never, and you're like, oh, well, I should have made this change 20 years ago. And it's like, okay, well, the second best time to make this change is right now. You can make that change today. And if that's and if that doesn't work for you, you can think about making the change today. And then in a month from now, you're like, oh yeah, I was thinking about that. And then you go and make that change. That's fine too. That's the next best time to do it. Because whenever it has your attention, whenever it's like good to go, get in there. So that's my takeaway from the article. I think it's very good. There's some more to it. I will link it in the YouTube description below. And I've linked it in Twitch chat if you wanted to read more. Also, Markham, a nap for lunch is not enough lunch, but I understand you, buddy. Sometimes when I was broke as shit, a big glass of water and going to bed early was dinner. Was that good for me? No, but this is also why I advocate that we should also have minimum basic income for people and minimum basic resources for people, like housing and shelter and enough caloric for their caloric needs, right? I'm 6'5", so I have a higher caloric need naturally that I literally can't control, that I literally didn't ask for. Oh, well, being tall is good, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but it still costs me more day in and day out for food because I have to eat 2,400 calories a day. Like, so, yeah. Is what it is, right? Bimka, yeah, that's right. I do lifts in between. When I say I'm taking a 3-minute break, I go put water on for another coffee, and I do like one set of like 5 to 7 reps of something. So getting strong up in here. All right, the last one. This one's like kind of a feel-good article. As we get off track a little bit here, you know me, I fill time. We just, whoo, boy, we love stories. We love filling. But let's get back to the last article. This article is from apnews.com. I think this is a reasonable website, but this is more of a feel-good story. Still alive. Golden mole not seen for 80 years and presumed extinct is found again in South Africa. And it's got a cute picture of the golden mole. Researchers in South Africa say they have rediscovered a species of mole with iridescent golden coat and the ability to almost swim through sand dunes after it hadn't been seen for more than 80 years. And this was thought to be extinct. Golden mole, a small blind burrower with super hearing powers. Hey, me too, super hearing. That eats insects was found to be still alive on a beach in Port Nolloth, Nollloth, on the west coast of South Africa by a team of researchers from the Endangered Wildlife Trust and University of Pretoria. It had been lost since 1936, the researchers said. With the help of a sniffer dog, the team found traces of tunnels and discovered a golden mole in 2021. But because there are 21 species of golden moles, some look very similar, the team needs to be certain that it wasn't, which one was it? So, super cool. Sometimes when you think species are extinct, maybe they're just hiding in new ways and they're just waiting around. But I'd never seen a golden mole before. Pretty great. So, with that said, that I am out of article. I still have coffee, but I'm out of articles. If you would go ahead and press that subscribe button, we are going to have these out Tuesday through Friday on YouTube. We do them Monday through Thursday on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and press that follow button. We will see you next time.